Hi everybody, it's me again, Mr. OneTake Arbizu. It is a hot Tuesday today. I hope you guys are taking care because we got some wildfires over in Napa County. Make sure that you're being safe, be prepared, all right folks? Let's do some math. Okay, so first problem of the day, we're going to do number 2. It says we got to convert between degrees Fahrenheit and degrees Celsius using the literal equation given. What literal equation? They tell us that the Celsius is equal to 5/9 of the Fahrenheit minus 32. So in this first problem, problem number 2, oh, you know what? I'm on section 3.3 of the math skills practice. Again, it's 3.3 of the skills practice. So let me see, going back to this problem. If I know that the Fahrenheit is negative 11 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm going to plug that into this formula to get C equals 5/9 multiplied by negative 11, that's the degrees in Fahrenheit, minus 32. So this is called substitution. I know that the Fahrenheit is negative 11. I'm replacing that in for F, and now it's just an issue of simplification. So according to PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You better not say that to me. It's parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division from left to right, and then addition, subtraction from left to right. I got to use this. Let me see. I've got, oh man, I messed up. What's negative 11 minus 32? I think I could redeem this. That's negative 43. And now I got to multiply it by 5/9. How do I do that? Well, this is the same thing as 5/9 multiplied by negative 43 over 1. So I'm going to multiply the top terms together and the bottom terms together. On the bottom, it's kind of nice because 9 times 1 is 9. And let me see, on the top, a positive times a negative is negative. 5 times 43 feels like 215 to me. That's my answer. You could plug that into a calculator if you want, but if you're a beast mode mathematician, you don't believe in them. Let's look at problem number 3 real quick. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's do number 3. So in problem number 3, the Fahrenheit is 102.6. So that means the Celsius, or the Celsius is going to be 5/9 multiplied by 102.6. And I got to subtract 32 from this. Man, this one's a little bit tougher. So I got to work with the stuff inside the parentheses first. I'm going to ignore the 5/9 for a minute. I got to do this computation. I got it. Is it 70.6? Yep, 70.6. So I did 102.6 minus, let me check it because I'm not 100% sure. I got to align this correctly. 102.6 minus 32.0. Let me see, I'm subtracting. That's that. Yeah, I'm right. Man, I'm a beast. Anyways, from here, I got to take 5/9 and multiply it by 70.6. That's the same thing as multiplying by 70.6 all over 1. On the bottom, I've got a 9. On the top, let me see, 5 times 6, it gives me a 30. Carry a 3, bring that guy down right here, and then I get a 35. So my answer is 353.0 divided by 9. I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. It looks kind of messy. So this is my answer. This is in degrees in Celsius. Let me do one last one for you because this one's a little bit tricky. Notice that in number 4, they give you 25 degrees, but it's in Celsius. So to do that one, I'm going to replace C with 25. So in the formula, C equals 5/9 multiplied by F minus 32. I'm going to replace C with 25 to get 25 equals 5/9 multiplied by F minus 32. Oh man, this one's trickier. I want to solve for F. Let me write that. Solve for F. So that means I want to get it by itself. The first thing, and pay attention because this is going to be a little bit tricky. I'm going to multiply this side by the reciprocal of 5/9 to this side and to this side. That'll get rid of this. So I'm going to multiply this side by 9/5. What do I mean by this side? By the left-hand side of the equal sign, and I need to do it to the right-hand side of the equal side. So I'm going to take 9/5 and multiply it by this junk. Now here's the reason why I do that. 9 times 5 is 45. 4 times 9 is 45. 45 divided by itself is just a big fat 1. So I'm going to be left with F minus 32. On the right-hand side, I'm going to simplify. Let me see. I could cross-simplify. 25 goes into 5 times, so this is really 9 times 5. That's 45. Or you could do this. 9 times 25 is 225. If you divide it by 5, you get 45. So this is what I got. 45 equals f minus 32. How do I get f by itself? What you do to the one side, you got to do the other. If I want f by itself, I got to get rid of this negative 32. What's the opposite of subtracting 32? Adding 32. I'm going to do it to the left-hand side of the equal and the right-hand side of the equal sign. So f minus 32 plus 32, that's just f plus 0 or f. Over here, I got 45 and 32, that's 77. So my answer is 77 degrees Fahrenheit. We're about 5 minutes into this. Let's look at problem number 8. It's even easier. Problem number 8, it says convert each equation into from standard form to slope-intercept form. This is in standard form. It's written in ax plus by equals c form. I have some real number in front of x. I have some real number in front of y, and then I have a constant. So to rewrite it in slope-intercept form, I want to isolate y. And I always do that by subtracting ax and then dividing by b. So you'll see how that's going to work out here. I got 3x minus 5y equals 25. I'm going to start by subtracting a of x. What is a of x? It's 3x. So I'm going to start by subtracting this. What you do to the left, you do to the right. It's the golden rule of math, like what you do unto your neighbor. I don't know. It's okay. How does it go? My daughter's saying this is some. I can't do it because it's in the golden book, the golden rule. Anyways, 3x minus 3x, it's 0. 0 minus 5y is negative 5y. Over here, what the heck is 25 minus 3x? These things aren't like. You can't add them. How do you add them? Well, it's negative 3x plus 25. We're going to leave it like that. Last thing I want to do, I want to get rid of this negative 5. If it's being multiplied by y, I'm going to undo it by dividing everything by negative 5. So here's my answer. I'm going to clean this up. Negative 5y divided by negative 5y is just 1y. Here, a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so I get 3/5 of x. And then what's 25 divided by negative 5? Yes, friends, that's just negative 5. So this is my answer. This is in slope-intercept form. Let's look at number 9. I've got negative 4x plus 9y equals 45. I'm going to go a little bit faster. I want to isolate y. So I'm going to start by getting rid of this negative 4x. How? The opposite of negative 4x is adding 4x because I'm adding it right here. So I'm going to add 4x to both sides on the left and on the right. 4x minus 4x cancels out. I'm left with 9y on the left. On the right, I've got this positive 40x and this positive 45. So I still need to get y by itself, but it's being multiplied by 9. So I'm going to undo that by dividing this, and this by 9. Notice that 9 over 9 simplifies out, leaving me with 1y. Here, that doesn't simplify. It's just 4/9 of x. And then 45 divided by 9, that's 5. Don't use a calculator. Use your brain. Second grade math. Not all of this, just this part. Maybe not second, maybe third. Yeah, that sounds right. Third grade math. Let's look at number 14. This time we're going backwards. I want to write slope-intercept form into standard form. So what the heck is slope-intercept form? That's y equals some number m, which is usually the slope. Remember, we talked about that before. Times x plus some number b. That b term, that's typically the y-intercept. So to rewrite it in standard form, I need to take this and make it look like some number times x plus some number times y equals some number. This is called the standard form. So the only thing that I got to do, if I have something in slope-intercept form, all I got to do is push this negative 4x or this mx stuff over to the other side. So let me see. If I've got y equals negative 4x plus 2, notice that I want both the x and the y on the left. How do I bring this negative 4x over to the other side if it's being added to 2? I'm going to add 4x to this side and add 4x to this side. When I do that, what's 4x plus y? It's 4x plus y. These things are not like terms. It's like saying, what happens or what do you have if you got 4 bananas and 1 apple? You got 4 bananas and 1 apple. You don't, or you could say you got 5 fruits, but that's besides the point. What do I have on the right-hand side? 4x minus 4x, that eliminates. It's 0. They are like 4 bananas minus 4 bananas is 0. Plus 2 is 2. This is our answer. This is in standard form. Let's do one more for you guys. I'm just going to go straight down to number 15. Again, we want to get rid of this 2/3 x. So I'm going to begin by subtracting this over to this side because it's positive, and I'm going to subtract it over to this side. Now, some of you guys are going to panic because we got fractions. It's nothing to worry about, man. We got 2/3 of x minus itself. That cancels away. I'm left with -6. On the left, I've got -2/3 x plus y. That's just -2/3 x plus y. Now, if you guys get here, that's really good. To me personally, this isn't really in standard form. We don't want fractions in standard form, or at least this first term can't be a negative value, and I don't like these fractions. I don't know if the book says that, but it's a math convention for me. So let me see. How do I eliminate this division by 3? I'm going to multiply everything by 3. So if I take this term and multiply it by 3, I get -2x. If I multiply this term by 3, I get 3y. If I multiply this term by 3, I get -18. So I multiplied everything by 3. Notice that I don't have any more fractions. And lastly, I don't really like that this first term is negative. Again, it's a typical mathematical convention that we don't want this first term to be negative. So I'm going to undo that by multiplying everything by -1. -1 times -2x is 2x. -1 times 3y is -3y. -1 times -18 is +18. This is my answer. This is written in ax plus by equals c form, otherwise known as the standard form. I think I got one more problem for you guys in this little unit. Let me check my time. Oh, 11 minutes. That's not bad. Let's keep on going. I think there's one more problem set that I want to do with you guys. Let's go do problems number 20 and 21. Here we go, 20. Here it says the directions solve each equation for the variable indicated. So I've got the formula for the area of a trapezoid. A equals 1/2 of B1 plus B sub 2 times H. They want me to solve for B sub 1. Dude, this problem's immense. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. There's a property in math that says that if I have something times something else, I could commute. What does that mean? If you have 3 times 4 times 5, that's the same thing as 4 times 5 times 3. Multiplication works that way. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to have 1/2. I'm going to multiply that by h, and then I'm going to multiply it by the quantity b sub 1 plus b sub 2. Now I'm going to simplify. I know what 1/2 of h is. It's just h divided by 2. And then I got this b sub 1 plus b sub 2. So they want me to solve for b sub 1. What does that mean? I need to isolate b sub 1. So I need to get rid of this multiplication by h divided by 2. How do I do that? How do I undo this multiplication? You could divide both sides by h divided by 2. That's one option. Or you could multiply by the reciprocal. That's another golden rule in math. But if I do it to this side, I have to do it to this side. So let me clean this up. 2 over h times a, it's 2a divided by h. On the right, the h's simplify out, the 2's simplify out. I'm left with b sub 1 plus b sub 2. Let me bring this work over here. I've got one last step. Again, I have 2 times a over h equals b sub 1 plus b sub 2. If I want to isolate b sub 1, I need to get rid of this b sub 2. How? I'm going to take it away by subtracting it from both sides. This is going to be kind of gross. Let me see. What the heck is 2 times a over h minus this? I'm just going to do 2a over h minus that. On the right, the b sub 2 minus itself, that eliminates, and I'm left with b sub 1. That's my answer. That's, dudes. This is, no, it's not too bad. Let me see if I could fix it. This, he's looking off. Don't worry about him. Let's go do number 21. It says the formula for the area of a circle is, man, I love a circle. The area is equal to pi r squared. What do they want to know? Solve the equation for r. Man. If I've got a equals pi r squared, I want to get r by itself. In order to do that, I need to isolate r squared first. So if it's being multiplied by pi, I'm going to undo that by dividing both sides by pi. So I'll have a divided by pi equals pi r squared divided by pi. What happens? Pi over pi, we ate that pi. It's gone. It's 1. What am I left with? 1 of what? 1r squared. That's equal to a divided by pi. And here's something that I don't know if I should be going over this, man. I'm going to give it to you guys anyway, but this is, if you get this, dude, you're a beast. I know that r squared, it's r times r. And I want to get rid of this exponent, this 2. How do I, oh man, there's a gnat on my phone. Get off. I need to get rid of the square term by square rooting both sides. So I'm going to have a divided by pi equals r squared. And again, to undo that, I'm going to take the square root of this side and the square root of this. When you do that, though, you always put this plus and minus. We're gonna ignore that, man. This is getting way too sophisticated. And I don't even want to rationalize it. That's another thing. I'm just going to write this. If you guys don't understand this, don't worry, man. You could look up other YouTube videos. Or you could come over and ask me. I'm in room B2. Come and see me. Why? I love you guys. I love you. I love you in room B2. See you guys. That's it.